I picture a mom who might be listening to this is thinking, "Oh, okay, I would love to have that experience with my daughter someday. I wanna be the kind of person who could be in the delivery room when she's at her most vulnerable and in a lot of pain, to know that she could trust me." So, I like what you're saying, Kelsey, like, a lot of that maturity comes through parenting teens. I think there's a lot to be said about that. But yeah, I'm curious, April, if there's anything else you would add to that. Like if you were giving a tutorial to a mom who wants to have this experience, what are some things you would encourage them to think about or to believe or to do to get ready for this?
I would say in the younger years, meaning when your child, your daughter is like, 0 to 10 or 0 to 12 or something like that, that you're talking about motherhood in a very positive light, that it's a gift to be able to raise a next generation, to be talking about birth stories in a positive light instead of like a traumatized, terrified way. So it's something that your daughters are looking forward to and know that it was something that you experienced yourself and that you hope that someday they get to experience. So a lot of time, I feel like at the beginning part of their life, just talking about actual birth and babies and all that is like in a positive light, motherhood, how much I love being a mom, all that stuff is important. And then I feel in the teen years, you don't necessarily even need to talk about those things, but you're working so hard on just your relationship. And I feel like one way I grew a ton in the teen years when my kids were teens, and I still have a couple, but, is learning how to back off, learning when to keep my mouth shut, how to control my reactions to things, um, how to knowing that I have trained them in this way, and if their actions or their behavior doesn't necessarily match their training, not going into despair, just allowing space and time to happen for them to explore things, their life, their reactions, their beliefs, their everything from, like, what they wanna wear to, how they're gonna drive a car to, how they're gonna treat those in authority, like, all of the things where they start to get a little more freedom and as you watch how they grow and develop, giving them time and space to experience things and being able to circle back around, and it makes you more of a safe person if you know you're not just gonna be, like, jumping on every single thing, and I think as moms, we have potentially have so much fear for our kids, like, we fear for their safety, we fear they're gonna make a bad decision or they're gonna make a mistake they're gonna regret for the rest of their lives, and so there can be all this fear that controls us, but learning how to trust the Lord with them still, it's like, the peeling of the hands and the opening it up and just saying, "Okay, God, you see this, you see it, you know what's going on. You're pursuing them. You have a relationship with them. I have to trust the Lord that He is um pursuing my child in such a way that um they will hopefully meet each other on the path and my child will fall in love with the Lord. That's my hope and prayer for them. And so along that journey, as I'm stepping back and giving them space, I'm learning how to control myself and with the Lord's help of not controlling or domineering or guilt tripping, all those things that are huge temptations for me, um, to back off, watch. And then I think the marriage process is part of that too, like watching your child meet their spouse, fall in love, not knowing if it's their spouse or not, and then them making the decision and then the wedding planning and then them actually getting married and like living the newlywed life. You learn a lot in that stage too,
Yeah.
of trusting the Lord with your kid's future, with their spouse, kind of taking that place in their life. And then believing in my heart that this is a good design. And so if I actually believe it, my actions better match it. So I've had to learn a lot about that. So it comes in stages. But those are from now, from my very limited perspective, because Kelsey's only been married 2.5 years. So I've only known it for this long. But what I have known um, would be those things. I've only attended two births of hers. Um, so we'll see if that's something my other daughters want. But if you kind of project yourself into the future, like, oh, if I want her to trust me and want me around in that scenario, I better like, you know, not try to pull the wool over her eyes in this decision or not trying to coerce her or, manipulate her into what I want her to do now. I want her to understand that I'm going to want what's best for her. Let her see both sides of the coin when she's decision making and things like that.